Hi, I'm Maisie and this is Coast Community News Weekly News 5 at 5, November 26th. COVID numbers remain low on the coast with just 8 cases reported this week, and double vaccination rates are also above 95%. And a new chief executive has started this week at the region's largest employer, Central Coast Local Health District. Scott McLaughlin, formerly chief executive of Western New South Wales' local health district, has been welcomed by the chair, Professor Donald McClellan. Health has been searching to find a new permanent chief executive since the resignation of Andrew Montague in April this year. And on Wednesday morning, emergency services attended the Rawson Rd level crossing at Woy Woy after reports of a car on the train tracks. Police were told the car stopped on the railway tracks at the level crossing before the train clipped the car. The driver of the vehicle, a 64-year-old woman, was uninjured and checked over by New South Wales ambulance paramedics. But the driver of the vehicle and the train driver underwent mandatory testing and provided a negative breath test. Racing has received a big boost on the Central Coast this week, with a further $8 million from the New South Wales Government to build 200 new stables at the Gosford racetrack, as known as the Entertainment Grounds.
$8 million being invested here at the Entertainment Grounds, which will see huge investment and upgrades to this provincial track.
And 16 days of activism to end violence against women started yesterday with a ceremony at Wyong Race Club. Sky Hull was there to report.
There's no excuse for abuse. However, domestic violence is a crime that still sweeps the region, marking the start of 16 days of activism against family violence.
Today really is about increasing awareness of domestic and family violence, and also the importance of if you see violence or you hear violence, to report it.
Something that's I think been more brought out to the public over the last 10 years, domestic violence, and it's something that's very serious in the community, and it's something that I don't like at all, and unfortunately it happens very often, and more often than I think a lot of people think. So it's great to be a part of it and get the awareness out there.
And as the federal election looms, local candidates are jockeying for position. This week, former New Liberals candidate for Robertson, Dr. Vania Holt, has announced she will be contesting the next federal election as an independent candidate instead. It's not clear what has prompted the move, although CCN has requested an interview for the coming weeks. Ms. Holt said she would be focusing on issues such as broadband infrastructure, government accountability and a federal ICAC, and the environment, including the issue of PEP 11 oil and gas project. Here's Dave with more of this week's council news.
Yeah, thanks, Maisie. The council is in the spotlight again, surprise, surprise, with this week's surprise announcement from the CEO, David Farmer, that not one but 2 long-standing directors have had their contracts terminated. Mr. Scott Cox, Director, Environment and Planning, and Ms. Julie Vaughan, Director, Community and Recreational Services, are leaving the organisation effective close of business Friday the 26th of November. That's today. The CEO's media release said 2 interim positions have been appointed for an approximate 3-month period whilst council undertakes a recruitment process. Mr. Brian Bell, who was, you may remember, a CEO for a short time after amalgamation before his health scare, will now act in the role of Director, Community and Recreational Services, and Mr. Farmer will shortly appoint a person to act in the role of Director, Environment and Planning. And CCN talked to the council's administrator, Rik Hart, this week at the Wyong Chambers, which will be the main changes. We asked about several issues that came up during this week's council meeting, particularly issues relating to the budget position.
Look at the monthly figures, financial figures, which we produced last night, which include October. So that's 4 months into the trading year. You'll see we're actually $18 million ahead of budget. So we're a long way ahead. And that's why both David Farmer and myself last night expressed optimism that we think we'll have it back the next quarterly one, which will be completion of December this year. We'll actually show forecasts that are looking better than the 3.5, but they operate on a fairly conservative level, the bean counters. Yep. So that's how it sits at the moment. But no, the way it's travelling very, very well at the moment.
We also asked Mr. Hart about the stadium lease on behalf of Mariners fans.
Look, there's absolutely no doubt it was a great result for the Mariners in the weekend. That was fabulous, and hopefully they have a great year. Yes, we're very conscious of their position, and I can assure you that, and the community, there's no chance that we would be putting in place the jeopardy of the Mariners staying here in Gosford.
Now watch the full half-hour interview on YouTube, on our YouTube channel and Facebook page if you're interested more. And the Mariners kicked off their A-League season with a 1-2 win against local rivals, the Newcastle Jets, in the first F3 derby of the season. New coach Nick Montgomery had this to say the day after the game.
Oh, look, I said to Nizzy, no secret. I spoke to Nizzy when I took the job and I said, you need to score more goals, you need more assists. You know, he's an industrious player, he works hard, but he needs to be more effective, you know, and he agreed. Just so happy for him to get his goal and to get it in the first game of the season in the derby. Thought it was a really good finish. Talk about Jacob Farrell again, you know, we were talking about him last week. Made his debut in the FFA Cup for the club and then, you know, to step in the derby game and just as cool, calm and collected as he was. And look, he's good in the air, you know, and the first half he probably could have scored a header and I said to him at half-time, next time you get in that position, just try and score, even if the keeper saves it, you know, we might get a rebound and I don't think he made any mistake. It was a bullet header and the Shearer celebration, off he went, but again, just delighted for him, but it's inspirational.
Thanks, Dave. All of these stories and thousands more can be found on our website without a paywall or in this week's Coast Community News, Coast Community Chronicle and the Pelican Post. Remember to subscribe to all of our YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify and Instagram pages for updates throughout the week and keep an eye out for our video updates also. To close this week, we leave you with Vision of the song Raise by local musicians Natasha Lee and Benjamin Fraser. The music clip was also filmed on the Central Coast. We hope you have a fun and safe weekend and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Raise upon my heart, never shine outwards. Oh, I know your name, even though changed. Take off to the stars, never look backwards unless you plan a safe escape. Better find your way. Never you mind whether you find a reason. Maybe in time you will design something to believe in.